Hi guys, so I am awake and it's 5:45 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. Typical me. But I do have a very nice little monster on the side of me that can sleep and is snoring pretty good. Him and his snooty nose. It's so funny. So, regarding the earthly beings, and again I do want to say that this information's not fact at all. It's only what Nan wrote, what Nan told. Obviously some I get because I've experienced, but not all. And I'm still learning too, so this is just sharing what I was learnt. That's all. That's all it is. It's just sharing what I was learnt. So it's definitely not fact. I'm sure there's lots of information out there. So, yeah. The first one for Earth are Bogies. Oh gosh. Or Boggins. Bogie bees. They are very mischievous beings, by the way. They're not harmful, but don't invite them. They are extremely difficult to work with, I swear. It's kind of like having a very moody teenager or a very moody old man. The best I can describe it anyway. Their bodies are kind of wispy. Sort of vague and wispy, I guess. Their eyes do glow. They glow that very pretty... I guess it's not yellow, but it's not amber. It's like something in between. Some of them, when the light hits it right, you can see them glowing white, but mostly I've seen amber, not white. I tend to feel things anyway before I see something, but these in particular, they are the ones that will scoot past you and give you goosebumps. They are the ones that will hide things and you can't find that certain thing and it's missing and it's gone. And then like 6 months later it sort of turns up. You could be looking at the Bogie. Maybe not, who knows. But they're not horrible beings, they're just very mischievous and they don't trust us. I mean, you've got to remember, these beings, they don't trust us anymore. Why would they? I mean, look at us. Look what we do, you know. We're not exactly angelic, are we? Let's be honest. I wish we were, but we're just not. We're just not even born or designed that way. Now, as with every earth being, fae or nature spirit, elemental, regardless, there are quite a lot that will live in hollow trees, and this is why when you spot hollow trees, especially the big hollow trees, you can expect that there is definitely a being living within the tree. But I do believe, I was told that they like places that have a lot of stuff, even if it's like dusty and just stacked. So maybe like old tool sheds where there's loads of stuff in there. Definitely antique shops. They love antique shops because they're full of stuff and all that stuff's theirs. Even if it's not, it is. So yeah, they're like that. They don't mind abandoned mines, but they do much rather prefer a place where there's lots of stuff if they're going to be in a place rather than a hollow tree. Like I said, they are best not to work with because they are quite difficult. They will do some really odd things, trust me. Now, everybody knows the Brownie. You know what's really odd about the Brownie? I've never heard of a female Brownie, and I would love to know if you have seen or spoken or had contact with an actual female Brownie, because I know they're out there, but I've never actually had contact with one. The brownies, as you know, they have different names, but they are the same. So, a brownie in North Africa, for example, will be called yumbos. In China, they are tuatha, Wales, bubajad. So they have different names, but they are brownies. So if you hear that now, you know what that means. They detest certain things. They really detest ministers. They do not like ministers. They do not like people that make a mess. They don't like people that lie and cheat. Other than that, they are pretty friendly. Usually around 3 feet tall. Believe it or not, their bodies look hairy. I don't know if they are or not, but their bodies do look sort of frazzly hairy. And their faces are quite flat. Their eyes are black. They have slightly pointed ears. Their fingers are very long. They got the name brownies because they tend to wear brown suits, brown capes, hats. But you can actually find them wearing green. Now, I'm not sure if that's something that's a celebration, etc. But, yeah, a couple that's wore, that I've seen with green, but I'm not sure why yet. I think it's a celebration or it's a special something anyway. Again, you'll find them in hollow trees, but also abandoned properties. There are some that will choose a family and they will stay with that family for generations. It will just continue. That family will have that brownie with them. And those are the ones that are extremely friendly because they're so used to human contact. But remember, they do not like messers. Brownies used to actually, it's believed, so my nan said, is that they used to work on farms more than anything. Out in the open, they'd work on the farms. But they kind of adapted to modern times and went with the flow. As you know, they don't like being thanked. They don't particularly like you being gracious, as in, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. No, they don't like that, but you can leave them treats. And they have their favourite. I have known, and I'm really sorry because I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree, but I'm just going to be honest. Buttered scones, cream scones, chocolates and frisbees. Sugary frisbees. Yeah. They kind of like those. You could try those. They do keep, though, any malicious intent away from your house, from your home, from where you live. They keep it away. They're quite good at guarding the property because they're quite vicious. They tend to see it as theirs, so they protect what is theirs, I guess, is the way to put it, of course. Then, dwarfs. Dwarfs kind of come from the Scandinavian German heritage, the land of the Nible Hoogan. I think I've got that right. Probably have to check on that one because I try and remember best I can, but that does not always work. They are 3 feet tall, roughly. You can get them taller and some slightly shorter, but if you're looking at them and you're taking a guess, that's what you'd probably suggest. I do know that the heads, they're kind of large compared to the bodies. It's odd because they have big eyes and a bigger head. But yeah, they are like greeny grey colour, so they blend in very well. They can hide very well. They are very much into their metals. They're very much into their rocks. They are very much into crystals. Their favourite places to live are obviously in the cave, in the abandoned mines, tunnel systems, because it's where they're going to find, the stones and everything that they like. It's said that they actually made Odin's ring and Freya's necklace. and a few more things, I believe, along the way. Can't think of them off the top of my head, I'm afraid, but I know there's a few other things. They will help with magical engraving of talismans because they will tend to show you the symbol, what it does, and help you relay that power through the stone, which is always a good thing. They also do not write anything themselves. They are known to train bards for historical events. They are known to have assigned bards to various areas that would document anything that went down within the dwarf community in songs, rhymes, etc. They do guard most treasures of the earth. I think it's more or less all of it, but they do. You can work with them with gem magic. Now, you can also bring them into your garden to do your gardening, and you think, well, why? Because dwarfs are generally miners. Well, basically, have you seen the crystal chips that you can put among your plants? These crystal chips are very pleasing to the dwarfs. They quite like them. So, by using those, you can help them come tend your garden. The reason being, they will dig and plough and do what's needed to get to the crystal chips. You will not have any more crystal chips, but you may have a very nice garden. And that's just how it is, you know. So yeah, they are okay to work with. They're not negative beings and they're not mean. The elves. Elves are what we would say very close to the Fae, but again, different, you know. They do have the pointed ears and they do have the tipped eyes. I found that elves tend to be extremely fair in colour. You know, their skin's very, very fair compared to the Fae. Very lighter, I guess is the word. It is, you know, you'll find them obviously in the woodlands and in groves and forests, but there is, with these elves, it's said that they really cannot live a long time being away from any trees. So if you were to see an elf travelling, then they are definitely on some sort of journey that they need to do because they need the trees to survive, I guess. Which you could understand why. So even though like their skin is the earthy colour, it's extremely light compared to the Fae. They're very light. Their eyes, they were like it's hard to explain, but like almonds. But not just any almond, they're like tip up. So like almonds, but then they have this tip. Oh, they're beautiful. They're big and brown, but they're honestly absolutely beautiful eyes that could mesmerise you, I swear. I think that's the idea though. Now, by planting a tree within your garden, by the way, you can make it a sanctuary and a resting spot for the elves when they are on their journeys. Now, some elves do have a special connection with the human Fae, and they will come and study and work with them, etc. Like I said, the elves and the human Fae, the reason they connect is usually you will find that they have like this really strong bond to like song, dance and poetry. They have a very powerful connection with animals and all the spiritual fauna. They're very good at telling the future. There is light and dark, as there is obviously with everything, but the dark, remember, is not exactly bad. It is just the balance that is needed. They will help with so many things, historical things, healing, rhyming. They will learn various rituals, help you with spells and learn you ancient spells. They will teach you the ancient ways of the herbs. and they will give you the confidence to speak your mind and be very good at public speaking, which is pretty cool. Might I just add. So they are friendly. Like I said, they don't trust us, though, you know, so we kind of have to understand that it's something that you work up to, and in all honesty, they can see through us anyway. They can look at someone and see completely through that person, and they can also trick that person, like doggy pie. Like, if they don't see the purity within that person, they can still come to them and completely trick them into doing things that are not at all going to help. But, you know, that's just the way it is. And so the fairies, oh, the small folk, let's just say, because that's what they prefer and that is what they are much known about. Now, they don't have wings, guys. However, they can be perceived to have wings. They can show themselves this way by creating a light aura around them. It's basically just energy. It's a way that deceives what you are seeing, I guess. Not in a bad way, it's just that's how they are. They prefer gardens at homes where there are people, and they love the wild, like forestry garden areas that are just left to overgrow. They definitely like those. When it becomes cold, they'll be the ones that will take up residence with a human family if they trust that family, but more so if the family has children and pets. They are very much into that. The other fae, the human-sized fae, they're quite intellectual, and obviously, as you know, there are seelie, which are white, and there are unseelie grey. They are not black. They do not work with black magic. They do not like black magic, by the way. None of the beings do. The only beings that you would get you to treat you to work with that stuff would be the Bogies, for example. They would. Beings like that would trick you to work with it. Yeah. Now, it takes a long time to gain their trust. And they help smaller fae help them, because the smaller fae are the spiritual plant beings in our learning, in the way that we learned. So they will live in trees, obviously tree cracks, and old birdhouses. They love old birdhouses. I've got quite a few around the garden. They are really good with the ancient secrets, keeping ancient secrets and sharing them. They are kind of like an old soul. So they have lived quite a few lives, and they will change throughout their life. And when they get to a certain age, it's almost like a switch. And it's just very odd. But yeah, they're very interested in that way. They love dance and magic. They do like flowers and gardens, obviously, herbs, oils, healing. They're into all that kind of stuff, aromatherapy, all the oils, all the natural healing herbs, even the poisonous ones. They love it all. They're very much into all that. It's just their way. So the plant spirit fairies and the elves and the fae, as in the human, in the way I was taught it, kind of all interlink in a way, because usually they find each other. It's like I say, it's a pull. It's like a pull. So then we have the fox spirit, or the fox fae. Obviously it's a kitsune. In Japan or China, they will call them kitsunes, which I prefer that name, kitsune. I quite like it. It will have a pearl under its tail. Now, this pearl shines, so it's kind of like it looks like an orb. That's what it looks like. It looks like an orb. It's said, supposedly, it's a pearl. And they can be human form and turn back to fox, it is believed. This obviously is a myth, it's a legend. But when they do turn into human as a fox, as a kitsune, their aura is different, and there's like a glowing light above their head, and it stands out to others. that are gifted, they can notice them. And I know that there's the cat of nine tails, so to speak, which is actually a fox. And it's a kitsune, but it's only a kitsune over 1,000 years old. That kitsune will be white or gold, and it will have 9 tails. They are very, very good because they are a mixed blessing, guys, because they're tricksters, right? They're very good with illusion and trickery. They will play tricks on us, and if you want them to come help you, they will. But bear in mind, when working with the kitsune, if it does not appease them, then you won't get the end result. It will be changed to appease the kitsune. That's just the way they are. So Anari in Japan was actually a goddess, but she was a fox goddess. Now, in China, it is believed that they caused accidents, like proper accidents, to a point of being over mischievous. Be very careful when working with kitsunes. You do have to build a bond with them, and you have to understand their way, because one minute they can be like an old wise person, and the next minute they can be like a 2-year-old that is just lost. And then you'll find they can be a stroppy adolescent teenager that's throwing a fit. They really are. They just switch. They're so like that. They just switch. Gnomes. Now, I'm pretty sure you all know this, but it does come from the Greek word, obviously. They are earth dwellers. They're knowing ones. Have you heard my dog snoring? Seriously, he has got such a snore. They are Gnomous, Gnoma, even, I think. I'm sure that's right. I believe Nyxa in Norway and Tuatha in Sweden. Hurtmalians in I think that's what my grandma put here. In German, there's many different forms. Many different forms. It is believed though that the older males will tend to be seen with a long beard, and with the females, you can usually tell when they are married. It's believed if a female is wearing a scarf, this means that they are married. I'm not sure of that one because I've not really seen one without a scarf, I'm not sure, but that's what Nan believed anyway. So I don't know. But they live under trees, obviously. Every earth being, you know, they'll take residence in trees and stuff. But they also like rock gardens, thick shrubbery. They like the birdhouses too. So they don't mind different areas. They're okay with that. They generally wear tunics, and both the male and female have multicoloured stockings. They really don't like technology, but can predict the future. They're very good at it. They love to dance. They absolutely love dance, and they are great healers because they have the knowledge of the earth, you see, to heal. So that's good. This may be done in 2 parts, guys, because there's so much to go into. And I do keep little notes at the side of me because, honestly, I'm literally telling you from memory. So sometimes as I'm going along, I'll write it down and go back and check it, and if I'm wrong, I will come and tell you. I'm just going by memory of what she put in a book. I'm sorry about my dog. He's a snorer, I can't help it. He's got such a nose and such a mush. So, yeah, the gnomes actually are really brilliant with energy patterns. They are fabulous, and they will learn you them. They actually will. And the energy patterns are just like, they bring so much power.